Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be the second installment in my Shop My Stash series. So as you guys may know, if you caught this first video, I think I filmed that in January. I think early to mid-January maybe. And then February came and now part of March. It's like March 17th today. Happy St. Patrick's Day. It won't be St. Patrick's Day when you guys see this, but St. Patrick's Day today. Don't pinch me, I don't have any green on. But my life got really crazy. I had a couple of really intense weeks of school. I didn't post a video on YouTube for like 2 weeks. I feel like I've said this in videos before, but I wasn't really using a lot of makeup, and I felt like I wasn't really using the products that were in my Shop My Stash basket, and it wasn't really a priority. But I feel like now I've finally gotten some good use out of these products. I can give you guys some feedback on them. And I'm ready to switch them out. So without further ado, let's hop into it. Alright guys, so let's hop into my little basket. I haven't even actually filled up a new basket, but I'm very excited to do that in this video. So I'm just going to kind of paw through this stuff and give you guys my quick brief thoughts on this, because I did grab kind of a lot this time, which I'll also talk about in the end, because some things are going to change with my Shop My Stash rules for this series. So the first thing that I grabbed is the ABH Aurora Glow Kit. This is something that I picked up on Black Friday last year, and to be totally honest with you guys, I wasn't getting a ton of use out of it, and I definitely used it more having it in my Shop My Stash basket, but I've kind of just determined that this is not an everyday highlighter palette for me. Because it has some more colorful shades, which I really don't mind. I don't wear them on an everyday basis, but when I do more fun looks, kind of like this one, I really don't mind popping on a more colorful highlighter. And I also don't reach for this quite as often as like my Flower Beauty one, because these are a little bit glittery, not glittery, they're sparkly, and they have visible sparkle on the cheeks. I'm going to try to like scooch in. I don't think you guys can really tell on camera, but they're just a little bit chunkier than I want them to be. So the next item I threw in was my Dose of Colors Friendcation palette. Like I said in the intro, which I will link below if you guys haven't seen that, definitely go check it out. I was worried that this wouldn't live up to my expectations, and it's a good palette. There's absolutely no denying that it's a good palette, but I don't know. It didn't blow my mind like crazy like I thought it would. The mattes are beautiful, the glittery shades are so much fun to work with, but I'm definitely glad that I did not get this at full price. Next item that I threw in there also had a little glitter in it. I was in a glittery mood when I picked out this basket, and that was the Cover FX Glitter Drops. So in my intro video, I mentioned that I was going to try to use these more as a foundation mixer, and that was a horrible idea. I don't know why I did that. I tried it once, and it was terrible, you guys. I did not like it at all, so I'm back to kind of trying to find a use for this. I do like it on the eyes. It's pretty in the inner corner, kind of tapped all over the lid, and it makes an okay face highlight. I have to try this in the summertime when I have a teeny bit of a tan. I literally turn like one shade darker in the summertime, but I'll have to try this as a highlighter tapped on my cheeks because it's a teeny bit too dark for me. Right now it's winter where I live, so I'm not getting a whole lot of sunlight. But it's a little too dark then. Maybe it would be pretty on the body or something, but I need to find a use for this, or I need to get it out of my collection. Next thing I threw in was the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. I can't remember if I threw this in right after like the intro video, because I know I added some stuff, but it's been so long I can't remember what was even originally in this basket. I threw this in because it was a new product to my collection, and I don't really like this, you guys. I feel like it doesn't really do anything for me. It may have some slight oil control properties, but I don't really notice a huge blurring effect. Maybe I need to do like one side of my face with this primer, one side no primer, and really test it like that. But upon putting it all over my face, I really don't see that big of a difference. Next thing that I threw in was this Bare Minerals Marvelous Moxie Gloss, and this one's in the shade Must Have Pink. This is just a really pretty standard gloss. I really enjoyed using this one, and I think I might just throw this one in my purse because it's a really great everyday color, and I feel like it would go with pretty much any look. Now I threw in 3 Super Shock Shadows from ColourPop. These are their more glittery shades. Oh, maybe I only threw in 2. Where'd the other one go? I thought I threw in 3. Maybe I didn't throw in 3. But this one is in the shade Cherish right here, and this is just the most beautiful bronzy glittery shade. Woo! Oh, that one's beautiful. I love this shade so much. These were so much fun to play with over the past month and a half or so. Then I also threw in the shade Prickly Pear. This one's kind of hard to describe. It's like a taupey purple shade with some gold glitter. Stunning on the lids. I really enjoyed using those, and I'm really glad that I got to pull those out and kind of focus my use on those ones. And then I also grabbed the ColourPop highlight in Flexitarian. This is my first Super Shock cheek product of ColourPop's. I think it's absolutely stunning, but I feel like it's just a little bit too intense for every day, at least when I do like a more toned down natural look. With something like this, it's absolutely beautiful, kind of full on applied. I find that you get the most impact if you kind of pat this on with your finger, but for every day, I really like taking kind of a fluffier brush. This one is from Wet n Wild. It's from their holiday kit. I just swirl this around in here, dust on my cheeks. It still gives me a really bright, blinding glow, but it's not quite so just intense. It just looks more like a gloss on the skin rather than having this really kind of bright base. Next item I want to talk about is this e.l.f. Marvelous Metals cheek palette. You guys, I really love this. I'm so glad that I have this in my collection. These are blush tones that I actually don't own. I might own something similar to this mauve one, but I definitely don't own this orangey tone or even this kind of rusty tone. The highlighters I can kind of give or take. The only one that I can really wear is this one. This really pretty soft gold one. I do like that one. The other ones, I just mix them with the blushes and use them as kind of a glowy blush topper, which is totally fine, but I adore the blushes in here. Next, we have this little tin of Bite Lippies. There are 4 little lip pencils in here, and I got some pretty good use out of these, you guys. I forgot how amazing and creamy and comfortable the formula is, and I really love them. And this red shade in here, oh, so beautiful. So next I want to talk about my custom palette. This one I made to kind of be a Huda Beauty Nude dupe, and while I don't think it's really super a dupe, I mean maybe like right here is a dupe, but the rest I just kind of went a little crazy with. I think that I created some really similar looks that I could have created with the Huda palette, and I just had a lot of fun reaching into this one. So like I said in the last video, I am going to do a quick little tutorial with that month's items. Well, last month's items, kind of after I use them, kind of giving you my thoughts. So I'm going to insert that right here. In the future, I think I may structure it a bit differently, and I'll just do like the tutorial part like right here. I'll insert it on the screen while I'm talking about the products, just so you can see them in action. But yeah, I'll insert that right here for you guys. Alright guys, so we're going to start by taking the shade Basic on a big fluffy brush, and I'm just using this to very lightly set down my eyeshadow primer, and then I'm going to go in the shade Necessary on an M433 brush. I'm just going to start buffing this through my crease. That is that third brown from the left. I'm sorry I can't like call these out like with little symbols, but I'm having technical difficulties, so this is just what we're going to roll with today, but hopefully it will be better in the future. And then I'm just buffing that out with a fluffy brush. Then I'm going in with the shade Churro on that same crease brush, and I'm just kind of packing this on my outer corner, and I am going to start to blend it into my crease just a little bit once we have a little bit less product on the brush, because I didn't want this look to be too super smoky. Next, I'm going to take my fluffy brush once again and just buff out those edges. I'm now taking my NYX glitter glue, and I'm just taking this on a super flat shader brush, and I'm just kind of patting this over the inner half of my lid. Next, I'm going in with Just a Kiss, and this is a super gorgeous glittery shade, and I'm just applying that with my finger. Now I'm going in with my ColourPop Supernova Shadow in the shade Firecracker, and I'm just taking this on a super teeny tiny Essence liner brush, and I'm just making a wing. This is a really soft shade, so it makes a really gorgeous soft wing. Then I'm going to go into my ABH Aurora Glow Kit, and I'm going to use the highlighter. So I'm using the shade Eclipse, and I'm just highlighting the high points of my face. Now I'm dipping back into my Dose of Colors palette, and I'm dipping into the shade Necessary once again. I'm just using a little pencil brush and buffing that under my little lash line. Now I'm going in with the Bite Beauty lip pencil. This is one of those that was in that little tiny tin, and this red is absolutely stunning, you guys. The formula goes on so nicely, and here's the completed look. It's something pretty simple, but I really like how it turned out. So let's dive right in. Also, I'm trying to size this basket down because I also need to work on my Project Pan items, and I don't really want those two to compete too much. So let's start with kind of how I would apply these things. Well, usually I apply eyeshadow first, so we'll start with that. So the palette that I'm picking for this round is my Juvia's Place Mini Masquerade palette. Kelly Gooch has been talking about her Mini Magic palette, and I'm like, ooh, I want to buy that one. But I'm like, ooh, you have the Mini Masquerade palette, and you've only used it like 5 times. And this palette is absolutely stunning, you guys. It has a beautiful 2 rows of warm neutrals. It has 2 rows of beautiful colors. And honestly, I haven't dabbled into too many of these shades, so I'm so excited to get to know this palette and really play with these colors. Spring is like almost here and I am so excited, so I'm definitely getting back into color a little bit. If you couldn't tell by my eyeshadow today, we're very colorful today. But I'm so excited to get into this one. And then I also threw in 2 glitters. So I won a huge giveaway from Starfire Cosmetics about a month ago, I feel like, and I was just like, my life was a little bit crazy then, so I didn't really get a big chance to dive into all of that stuff and really test it out. So I threw in 2 of the glitters from the Galaxy collection today. This one's in the shade Sirius. It's this gorgeous like blue green. I gotta open it. I spilled this everywhere earlier, so oh damn it. Oh no. Oh no. Well, you guys can see the glitter now. It's just all over the place. Oh no. Did the stopper like not go in? Ah! Okay. I'm gonna have to deal with that one later because that's a big old mess. My hand is now covered in glitter. Well, there are worse things in the world. So I threw in that beautiful blue shade because I thought it would pair gorgeous with some of the tones in here. And then I also threw in this pink shade, which is called Venus. Let's hope this one's less. Oh yeah, this one's not a mess. Not really sure what happened with Sirius. Also, I love the name of Sirius because I'm listening to this podcast right now. It's called Potterless. It's about this guy. He didn't read the Harry Potter books until he was like 25 or something. And it's him kind of going through with his friends and family who absolutely love Harry Potter. And it's hilarious. If you guys don't listen to it, definitely check it out. But anyways, let's get back to the makeup. This is the shade of Venus. It's this gorgeous, like, soft pink shade. Oh, it's stunning, you guys. I feel like this would be a beautiful liner or kind of a beautiful like halo eye. Oh, that would be pretty. And then the last eye product that I threw in was this mascara from ColourPop. This is their BFF mascara. I've had this for like 2 months and I haven't busted into it, you guys, and that's embarrassing. I feel like I'm hesitant to bust into these because I know that once I bust into them, they're not going to have that long of a shelf life. And colorful mascara isn't something that I dabble too deep into too often, so I like really want to focus on using this while it's open. But this palette has some really, really beautiful orangey tones in it, and I thought this blue would just look beautiful with the orangey tones. So that's why I picked that one. Now we're gonna bust into some face products, so I only picked 3. The first one that I chose was the Flower Beauty Light Illusion Foundation. I was using this like non-stop for like 3 months and then I just randomly stopped one day, but I wore it today and I really like the finish of this, you guys. I think my skin looks really smooth, it looks really healthy. We are moving into semi-warmer weather, fingers crossed, fingers crossed. So I may have to pair this with some more mattifying primers or mix it in with mattifying foundations, which really isn't a big deal at all. But I love the finish of this on my skin, you guys, and I would love to get some more use out of this one. I've also really been loving the e.l.f. bronzer palette. I've only used it for like 2 days now, but I love it so, so much. I feel like I might have my lights a little bit too bright. Well, the sunlight's kind of like going in and out, so I tried to make it bright enough so it would always be light enough in my video, but might be a little bit overexposed, but that's okay. Anyways, this is the e.l.f. bronzer palette, and here's what it looks like. I just love to mix my brush in all of these shades, tap off the excess, and go around the perimeter of my face. I just feel like the tones of these bronzers are really, really beautiful. They blend really well, and I just really like how they sit on the skin. So the last face product is this Wet n Wild Photo Focus Stick Foundation. So I got mine in the shade Classic Beige, which is not the correct shade for me. But I got this to try as a cream bronzer. See, on camera it looks like it's deep enough, but I feel like I put it on today and I still wanted more bronze, so then I went in with my e.l.f. palette. So this is something I'm definitely going to have to play with a little bit more because I used it today and I don't know if I love it, you guys. I just felt like it didn't give me enough bronze. But today is a bit of a higher coverage day, so maybe with some lighter coverage makeup, this would work better. I'm going to have to test it and play with it a little bit, and then we'll see. So I decided to include 2 lip products in this round. The first one is this Fiona Styles lipstick. This one's in the shade Occidental. It is this beautiful, beautiful peach shade. It has kind of a glossy finish, which has been what I've been into lately. Oh, look at that. Isn't that so perfect for spring, you guys? I know spring's not technically here yet, at least in Michigan where I live, but I'm waiting, guys. I'm impatiently waiting. I'm hoping if I wear springy makeup, it'll come faster. And then I also threw in the Burt's Bees liquid lipstick. This one's in the shade Tidal Taupe. I got this in that little Walmart lip favorites box or something like that. I did a whole review on that box a couple months ago. And this is a beautiful shade, you guys. This one's a bit more of a moussey liquid lipstick, so it's not really going to totally set down, and I believe that it still has a bit of shine to it even when it does set down. And I just really love this color, and I would love to get some more use out of it because it's gorgeous for every single day. But that's going to wrap up my picks for this month. I hope you guys will subscribe so you don't miss out on next month's picks and my thoughts on this month's basket. If you guys are new here, hi, my name is Sydney. I film beauty videos 3 days a week, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. I'll see you guys for my next one. Bye!